Fidlicum, and hello, it's Fo, and welcome back to Turbine City. Last time, we'd finally made it past the 350,000 mark. We'd sort of overzoned a bit, so we've got plenty for them to be getting on with. We've got a problem arising where we've got a lot of industry that are saying they don't have enough customers. We're trying to give them customers by putting in commercial. But the commercial we're putting in are saying they don't have enough low-skilled workers. So we'll let it run, rather than a little cinematic. We'll go with the time-lapse instead. Mix it up a little bit. See if we can let it run till the morning. Let them all come in. Our academic year reporters stopped us in our tracks. We're losing people all round, but not that many. I don't think we've turned on our policies in the university yet, so we can go turn them on. See if that can gain us some more students. Let's get everything turned on for them. Give them the grant, get the maximum academic staff working on our academic works. Don't really like this Buccaneers. Spartans sounds much better. Let's change this to an awful garish colour so it clashes horribly with the background. Looks lovely, really eye-catching. We'll get all the budgets turned up and the ticket price turned way down. Hopefully that's the right combination of things to do to get the most people in. We'll give the grant over in the Academy of Arts as well. Try and get some more students there, try and get that leveled up as well. So yeah, hopefully when all this commercial comes in, it's going to stop the industry guys complaining. If more guys were coming in and building offices in, maybe put in more offices here. Try changing a little bit of industry out for offices just along the main road. And then if the industry keeps complaining, if there genuinely is too much industry here for the commercial, we can always change it over for offices afterwards. Shouldn't be a big deal. We've still got plenty zoned in, so we'll wait until all this commercial comes in before we can make an analysis. If there is genuinely too much industrial, but ideally I'd have it all in one place, or sort of in one place, and it can serve all the commercial throughout along these set of tiles. But maybe I'm overestimating their range. There's a few complaints about the garbage service, so we'll look around the map and try and find areas where the buildings are sort of darkened, sort of turning brown rather than this sort of bright green. Use our little incinerator. It's a little footprint, so it's easy to fit in. Unlike the graveyards, but we'll get one in where we're going to have our new housing over in this corner. Make sure that our coverage for our services isn't neglected. We'll get a sort of standard set of stuff in. Give them their healthcare stuff, their fitness buildings. Trying to spread them out a bit. Our tourism and leisure industry is starting to show that they're running out of customers as well. We might have too much of that zone throughout the city overall. Might want to come back and trim back some of our hotels and things. If we're not getting enough tourism being generated to justify that many hotels and things. Always trim those areas back. The residential that's closest to those areas will appreciate it, so they won't get affected by the noise. It's always a redevelopment thing we could do. Yeah, we'll see how it pans out. Once they've all come in and filled up this zoning we've got for them. Hopefully there'll be one or two complaints rather than this many. That should be that area set up. Just need the people to come in and fill it up. So we'll let it run for a bit. Let it go through the night. The next morning, city's looking lovely. The sunrise is really nice, as is the sunset. I noticed when I was watching the cinematics that there was a roundabout with some crazy behaviour going on. So I've had a look around and I've found it. I think the problem is that the roads are going both ways and the cars are just going for gold and making their own decisions about which way round the roundabout should be. It'd be alright if there was a consensus, but I don't know how that happened. Must have been when we wanted to upgrade the road to have trees on it. We chose the both ways road rather than the one way road. It's a bit daft. I noticed there's a traffic light there, so go in and get rid of that. Can't abide traffic lights at the best of times, let alone on roundabouts. Hopefully it'll help people get down here, get to work faster, stop these guys complaining. There'll be less traffic lights in the way of the lorries that are delivering all the goods from the industrial area. Spotted a graveyard being emptied on my travels round, trying to find all the traffic lights. I suppose that's another good reason to go around regularly, so you can spot things that you might not notice from zoomed out. So as always, I'll go around and try and catch them all. Never quite manage, always find some. The graveyard here needing emptied. I'll have to remember to go back on and turn the mod on that automatically empties. I'll wait until 360,000. I'll drop down a save and then I'll get that turned on. Hopefully turning off all the lights will improve things slightly. Well, we're still losing people, but we've made our first academic works, The Art of Speculation. Fantastic. Well, we're on the way. Ideally, I'd like to get them all up to prestigious. Baby steps. Sure it'll be a while before we get there. But I'm sure we've got a fair few episodes before we get to the end of the playthrough anyway. Still on lockdown for the foreseeable future, so in no rush to get to the end. Slow and steady progress. I would like to get up to 375 this episode, but we'll see how we go. People are coming in, but pretty slowly. Can at least get up to the 360. I can get the automatic empty and turn back on. See if there's any other mods or assets or anything we want to include in the game. It can help get the happiness up, the attractiveness of the city overall. So this is our last little area that we've got before we have to go towards the river and use up the other tiles. I want to get some commercial in to try and help with the we don't have enough customers problem that the industry is having. Also help us establish a good distance for the houses away from the industrial. So we'll get a strip of commercial all the way across here. As I say, hopefully that's going to be enough. If the range of the industrial isn't that much, and they want to deliver to shops that are really close by, hopefully that'll help for them a bit. The extra housing is going to get extra people in here as well. I like to think we can fill another few thousand in there. We've pretty much filled up all the rest of the housing. Things are going slightly better with their icons. Seems to be less complaints from the industry. I'll let it run overnight, let this area fill in a bit. The industry seems to be complaining a little bit more. And the commercial hasn't really resolved itself, but got up to the 360, so can I get this mod turned back on? Also turn back on the first person camera. I usually play with that, so I can get that first person view of the city, what's happening. Got a Burger King I can turn on, a couple of statues in parks. Can maybe add to the attractiveness. Can change some of this residential for commercial. It's a bit close to the dense stuff for our light residential here. They're complaining about the noise. The industrial seems to be complaining more. Seems to be getting worse, not better for them. But our offices haven't really built in to indicate a strong desire for offices. So I'm not that keen on switching over the industrial for offices just yet. Might be the tactic. But we'll see how it goes. Hopefully when the rest of these houses all fill in, there'll be enough workers for the commercial. That might gain a few more customers for the industrial. Pretty hopeful that it's all just going to balance itself out. We'll see how it goes. Let them run and completely fill up the space. And we'll go hunting for a new area to get some residential in once our demand gets back up. I feel like we've overzoned for the last wee while, so hopefully we can catch back up, get the thread of the demand again. Yeah, our demand's come through, but only for residential. I think there's still a few more spaces for these guys to come in, and obviously where the buildings are getting abandoned, they'll all be demolished and there'll be spaces for new guys to come in, so hopefully they'll all be able to find pairs and be able to help each other out. In the meantime, we're going to have to come down the other end of our city limits. Get some more roads in here so we can get some more residential in. Get a roundabout in, help the traffic flow all in the right direction. Not constant roundabouts, but fairly regular roundabouts help. Save traffic building up at major junctions. We'll get our road over the highway and onto the train track. Try and get it connected up. We'll get all our roads that come out from the side connected up as well. It's all hooked up to the grid. And we should be able to fit another one in here if we take these roads back. Get another roundabout in while we can. It's easier to get them in before rather than after. It's better than demolishing things when coming back. You suddenly decide later down the line you want to put a roundabout in. There's a bit of a redevelopment. People don't really like that too much. Get this hooked up. When we get them upgraded, we'll have to remember to actually use the one-way roads. Not do the same thing again and have them going every which way round a roundabout. It's the craziest thing I've seen in the city for a while. Yeah, this road ain't quite straight. I'll get it upgraded and try and move it, wiggle it a little bit. Wiggle the nodes, try and sort of straighten out a little bit. It's slightly better. Looks like things line up a little bit better on the other side. Nice and easy. So we'll try and fill up this space that we've got. Take it all the way to the edge of our city limits. Continue our road network up. Still got loads of space to play with. I reckon we'll probably get pretty close to the 500,000 just with the space we've got unlocked to us. If we do need to unlock more tiles, we should probably unlock them sort of in the centre, either side of the river, to maximise what we want out of the tiles ahead. We'll get there when we get there. I don't think we're going to be able to get a road under there. I think we'll have to go underground if we want to dodge all these pillars and try and move all those nodes around. Certainly a lot easier just to go underneath. Get another station in here at some point as well. Help give them plenty of options when it comes to travel. Use up all the mass transit stuff. I've never used the canals. Maybe when we get finished and if we've got spare room we can have a little canal section or something coming off the river. Usually get the castle of Lord Chirpwick or something up on a hill and then have the cable cars go into it. It's usually something I do on this map, so maybe think about that later on down the line as well. Try and use up all the mass transit options. I did use a monorail once, but the stations were really noisy and the people didn't like being next to them, so kind of stayed away from that one after trying it out once. But they've got new hubs like the multi-platform train station. They've got sort of train stations that convert into monorail stations and things like that. So in an effort to use up all the assets, might get that placed in somewhere down by the seaside. We can have the monorail running along the seaside. It's all just things that help keep the roads free for the trucks delivering the essential cargo things, all the goods to the shops. So we'll get our bridges connected over the river, get our areas all hooked up, start working on bringing this tile into the fold and making it part of the main city. Where we've got one road on one side of the train track, another road on the other. We need to find a suitable place to dip behind the tracks and get it connected up. And that's maybe the place to do it. Maybe delete this and then move the node. Now the road coming back here and get it connected up. It's getting towards the city centre tiles, as it were, so have some strange road decisions, that's fine. Doesn't have to be perfectly square. We didn't have that sort of engineering skills or the ability to see it from a helicopter back in the day. Yeah, plenty of road design layouts with character in city centres, so we'll make a few of these roads medium roads rather than large ones. They don't all have to be large main roads, just the ones that are sort of going somewhere. We'll connect up our existing roads to the rest of it. Get working on that grid. As I've said, it's easier working at night with the roads when they're all lit up. Easy to see what type of road it is you're wanting to extend and getting everything all hooked up. And where we've left gaps to put these roads in doesn't displease people by demolishing their houses. It's not always perfect, but make an effort to try and keep the happiness up rather than constantly demolishing people's houses. And oh, here we go, we're gonna have to demolish one here. Yeah, a little bit of a smallest impact on the people that are already in the city as possible is what we're aiming for. Their happiness is my top priority. Again, I'm going to move it a little bit just to try and line these up. Try and get the road as parallel with the highway as possible. Try and keep the roads nice and neat and straight for when we want to extend them off into the following tile. When the roads just magically slot through the gaps in between the nodes and the railway. Like not having to move them, but this sort of needs must situation. Yeah, it's satisfying when they just thread magically through. So I'll get this area chopped up a bit before we go. We're running out of time, so we're not going to have a chance to get in the small roads and get all the housing sorted out for these people. We'll come back next time and get more zoning in, carry on expanding the city out over here, try and get some more people in, try and work our way up past that 375 on our way to the 400,000. An interesting shape for the roads here. Staying away from the roundabout. There we go. Get it sorted. So yeah, we'll come back next time and pick up where we left off. Until then, take it easy. And I'll see you in the next one.